Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Rockies Now podcast. This is a Colorado Rockies podcast. I am your co host, Tom, and this is the Rockies recap episode for game 2 of this 3-game set against the Pittsburgh Pirates in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Oh, boy. Well, this is another game where the Rockies pitching was great. The offense was non existent, but it was for good reason, as I'll get into reasons to why, because the Pirates, they put up quite a fight just like we did. So let's get into it. Again, this was a Rockies walk-off loss in the bottom of the ninth inning. So let's just recap real quick. The Rockies, they got one hit, one bleeping hit. I'm trying to just swear it, guys, because this is upsetting. It was by Elias Diaz. It was a double off of the starter Jared Jones. And that's all we get. And one thing is key about this, the Rockies hitters total, the offense had 11 strikeouts. 11. I know there's been a lot of talk the Rockies are trying to decrease the amount of strikeouts from the offense. Well, tonight was not a good example, but it's a good reason. So going into this game, as I mentioned in last night's Rockies recap, is that Jared Jones was the Pittsburgh Pirates starter for today's game. And I didn't know this, but I did some research on him. I did mention he was a rookie, but the guy going into the season was their number 3 overall prospect. Good, and of course he's not their number 1 pitching prospect or number 1 overall prospect. That goes to the stud Paul Skeens, who, by the way, if you have not seen him pitch, check out his highlights in the minors. My goodness, this guy has quite the talent, an electric arm, and has a chance to be a stud in the major league. So check it out. He is someone to keep an eye on for this Pittsburgh Pirates organization. So, like I said, Jared Jones, 7 innings pitched. He gave up the 1 hit, which was to Elias Diaz. He was spectacular. He had 10 strikeouts, 10 of the 11 strikeouts that the Rockies had total against the Pirates pitchers. So, there are days when whether you're one of the top pitchers in the game, a young pitcher in the game, you're a 10-year veteran, or whatever the case may be, there are days where you just have your A-plus game. And today, Jared Jones had it and everything and much more. And the Rockies offense just couldn't figure him out. That's all I can say, which has been quite a bit of the story of the case from this team most of the season. So but the truth be told, Austin Gomber, our guy, he did what he needed to do. He was very good. He wasn't excellent, obviously, as excellent compared to Schemes, but he did the job. He went 6 innings pitched, gave up only 4 hits, gave up 2 walks and 3 strikeouts, but again, no earned runs. And I always talk about, as a starter, whether you have your A stuff or your B stuff or your C stuff or your D stuff, doesn't matter. Your job is to find a way to pitch through it and give your team a chance to win by limiting the damage from the other team. He did just that. It's just the offense couldn't back him up. Also, Victor Vodnik, I've talked about him, how I think he could be a staple in that Rockies bullpen, and he continues to impress. He's only had 1 bad appearance this season, which is why his ERA is now down to 2.29. But he was pretty much terrific today. He did 2 innings of scoreless baseball. He had a walk, but he struck out 3 in 2 innings. He was great. And unfortunately, Nick Mears, he's been good, but today, another not his day. He came in late. He came in the 9th inning. He managed to get things going. Connor, and of course, I'll get to him. Our guy, real quick, our former Rocky Connor Joe, he went 2 for 3 tonight. He scored the lone Rockies run after he got on base with a base hit in the bottom of the 9th inning. Then, of course, he managed to get second. O'Neal Cruz got on, and of course, to the pinch hitter, Jack Suwinski. Mears put one in. It was in the middle of the plate. It was outside, but it was too low. Just right over the middle, outside part of the plate. He swings it back up the middle, ball game over. So it's, again, for Connor Joe, he has an 845 OPS in this early part of the season. So I think I've mentioned this previously. It's good to see that he's doing well. I'm happy for him. It was kind of a bummer. I thought he would stay with Colorado, maybe develop into a piece for the Rockies to use, whether it was a everyday player or a bench player. But it's good to see he's having success in Pittsburgh, but either way. So just looking at some performances today for the Rockies, Brenton Doyle, he's in a big-time slump. At one point recently, he was hitting in the 320s. Now his average is down to 288. He had the hat trick tonight. Ezekiel Tovar, he also went 0 for 4 with a strikeout. His average is down to 258. Those two were moved up to the top part of the lineup. I believe they can be guys who can bat in the top half of the lineup, but they're in big-time slumps. The only guys who are not in slumps, who are hitting on a more regular basis, are McMahon and Diaz. Or even also Jacob Stallings when he's in the lineup. He's doing pretty well. It's tough. But also a big highlight today. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was in the bottom of the 6th inning. Jordan Beck made a game-saving catch there. Diving catch coming in just off to his left out there in left field. There was a runner on second, so he basically saved a run there with that catch with only 1 out, which led to the second out, which again allowed Austin Gomber to pitch and get out of the 6th inning. So good job for him. Again, he struggled at the plate. He went over 3 tonight with 2 strikeouts. He is struggling at the plate, but it's early struggles. I don't know what the plan is in terms of his development. If he's going to be up long, if he's only going to be up until Nolan Jones get back, I'm not sure. But hey, it shows the guy he's still got some. He's made a couple of good plays so far in a short time that he's been up here. So that's really much to talk about the game. Again, Rockies offense was just stifled by Jared Jones and the rest of the Pirates pitching. And it's just another case of the point. This offense at times looks lost. At times they look good. At times they look adequate. Tonight was a game they just looked lost. But for, like I said, good reason. Jared Jones is a top pitching prospect for the Pirates. And I'm not sure, my apologies, I'm not sure if he's ranked in the top 100. But either way, he was very good. And he's having a good season so far. So far, he lowers his season ERA to 2.63. So that is set for the game. Oh my God. It's just, I love watching great pitching. And this was a pitcher's duel between Gomber and Jones of the starters. And unfortunately, whether it was Jared Jones or the 2 relievers that pitched for the Pittsburgh Pirates, we just couldn't figure it out. The Pittsburgh Pirates improved on the season to 15 and 19. They're still last place in the National League Central, and our Rockies fall to 8-25. So we're still not to 10 wins. The charge to it still gets there to double-digit wins. We'll see how long it takes us to get there. So either way, but it is a bummer, but what can I say? Okay, things go. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But again, it is unfortunate, but I've said in the past, games like this happen, and unfortunately, this was not the Rockies' day. Okay, so around the National League West today, right now, the other 4 teams in the National League West are currently in progress with games. There've been around Major League Baseball, there was quite a lot of rain. There was a lot of bad weather around, so there was a couple of delays. The Philadelphia Phillies are currently leading the San Francisco Giants 11-3. That game is in the bottom of the 6th inning. The San Diego Padres currently lead the Arizona Diamondbacks by a score of 3-0. That game is in the bottom of the 5th. And the Los Angeles Dodgers lead the Atlanta Braves 2-0. That game is in the bottom of the 2nd inning. All right, a couple of stories going on around baseball. The Minnesota Twins, wow, they just keep winning. My goodness. Their winning streak now reaches 12 games. 12 games. Oh my goodness. They are just winning. Let me just make sure. Let me just double check to make sure that their game was, in fact, comes to a conclusion today. If I'm not reading yesterday's news here. And my ticker is, bear with me for a second. My ticker is kind of not running. Yes, the final. They beat the Boston Red Sox today by a score of 3-1. So 12 games. It's quite impressive no matter what division you're in or which part of what kind of team you have. 12 wins in a row is 12 wins in a row. That's quite impressive. So we'll keep an eye on that to see how long that streak goes and when it ends and what team officially ends that streak. That's always the thing. You try and bet, okay, this team's winning streak ends today. It ends there or whatever. Who's going to be the team that beats it? What's the score? That kind of thing. So you'll see. Again, we'll see how that goes. Okay, the San Diego Padres and the Miami Marlins have finally officially completed the trade for Luis Ariz. He goes to the Pittsburgh. Sorry, why am I saying Pittsburgh? I'm sorry. Back it up. He officially goes to the San Diego Padres for 4 players. It is one of the Miami Marlins relief pitchers, and it is 3 of their prospects. And here's an interesting story about that. There were two of the prospects that the Marlins traded to the Padres actually got traded during it. Again, this happens during games. You never know what you're going to see. Players get pulled. A trade happens during a game. You see players, whether in the field and the base paths, get pulled. It happens. So 2 of the prospects, they were playing for one of the Miami Marlins minor league affiliates. One of the guys is actually on second base. The manager comes out of the dugout, goes to the umpire and does the typical thing, hey, so-and-so got the call, this, so I need to take him out. And he points to it, and the guy at second base goes, who, me? And he just kind of walks off the field. Then also his teammate in the dugout also got part of the trade. So those guys are batting they were 2nd and 3rd in the lineup. So again, the 2 of those guys, 2 teammates, you get traded. So they had to gather their stuff, say their final goodbyes, and then walk out to the clubhouse together and pack their stuff and get on the plane because they were just traded. So it's crazy that 2 teammates on the same team get traded. And of course, one of them is in the field. So that's so obviously there was a slight delay to get everything all sorted out and organized, get a new pinch runner out there and everything and also get somebody else to sub in for the other player in the lineup. So it's pretty crazy. Like I said, you find out when you get traded, you can be in the dugout, can be before a game, after the game. It can be when you're on the field, on the base paths, or even maybe even I don't recall seeing this. It could be even while you're in the batter's box. Again, I've never seen that, or I can't recall a time when that happened. But hey, crazy things happen when you get traded. So again, that trade is officially completed, and a really crazy story to go along with it. Okay, here's another fun thing. So again, there was a rain delay between the Oakland A's and who are they playing here? Between the down, I'm sorry, I can't see who they were playing. All right, yeah, down in Oakland. Oops, hold on a second. Down at the Coliseum, the Oakland A's were playing the Miami Marlins, and that game is still in progress. They had a 3-hour and 23-minute rain delay, but the highlight of it was in one inning. It was the third inning. One of their young stars, again, one of their only all-star last year, Brent Rooker, he had 2 home runs in one inning. He led off the scoring with a 2-run homer early in the inning, and then later in the inning, he also hit a 3-run homer. He is the first player. Hold on. He is the first A's player to go deep twice in the same inning since Mark McGwire on September 22nd, 1996 against the Seattle Mariners. So pretty crazy. Again, the Oakland A's they've got arguably one of the best bullpens in baseball. They're really killing it. They're not killing it, I shouldn't say that. So they're doing pretty well. Again, a lot of people expected them just to, be bad again. Hey, they're putting up a fight. I think last I checked, they're right there in the middle of the pack in the division. I have to check the standings again to see where they are. As a matter of fact, while we're doing that, I'm just going to double check to see where they are. It's pretty crazy. Good on them. I know there's a lot of controversy around them with the move. They're going to be playing in Sacramento next year as a temporary home. Not much in the deal, not much with their move to Vegas is even finalized. The only thing that's happened is the owner's approval. We've heard nothing else when it comes to financing, construction, basically nothing except for that the owner's approval to say, yes, they only give approval. You can explore relocation. It's just a formality. Nothing is much set in stone. Again, they do have that property down in Vegas or that where the Hard Rock, I think it's the Hard Rock Casino is going to get demolished, but really there's nothing much going on. Yeah, the Oakland A's are now in third place in the American League West with a record of 16-17. They're currently on a 5-game winning streak, so this could go to 6 because I think the game is still currently in progress. Just bear with me for 1 second here. Yes, the game is currently in progress. They lead the Miami Marlins in the bottom of the 7th by a score of 15-1. So they're on quite a streak there. So good on them. Even with, like I said, with all that negative press going on around them, and of course all the issues on, I really feel sorry for that fan base. Team's playing well, so good on them. Keep it up, guys. It's awesome. Even though you're playing for a team that has a really old, rickety, and really terrible ballpark. Play hard. Good for them. Good on them. That's really something to say about that. So anyway, also here's something interesting that happened today. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Aaron Judge got ejected from the game for the first time in his career. This is ridiculous. So he basically gets called out on a strike. He didn't agree with the call. He turned back, says something to the umpire. He's walking away. And as he's about probably 7 to 10 feet away from the umpire, just with his back turned, I don't think he's really saying anything. Crew chief Alan Porter throws him out of the game. I'm looking at the video right now. He's just walking away. He's back his turn. And all of a sudden he gets ejected from the game. It irks me when this kind of stuff happens. He is the first Yankees captain to be ejected since Don Mattingly on May 13th, 1994. Okay. Just real quick. I'm not going to go on a rant. This is not being kind of a meltdown. It just irks me that umpires are so thin-skinned. Athletes are competitive by nature. They're going to be upset at times. They're going to complain about stuff. They're not going to agree with every call. Just give them some rope to vent just slightly. Now, if a guy gets really out of hand, throws his equipment, gets in your face, okay, get him out of the game. Or if they continue to complain, get him out of the game. But if a guy just wants to say, I don't agree with that, that's a BS call, that's stupid, that's ridiculous, and then just walks away, let them do that. Let them be upset. Let them vent. Just let them calm out. Let them vent their frustration just a little bit, and then just let it go. Instead, he's just walking. I'm looking at it. He's just walking away nonchalant and he gets thrown out. That is just ridiculous. It's annoying. From bad calls to just umpires being so thin-skinned, it irks me. Just let the guy, it's stupid. Just grow some thicker skin. I mean, come on. He probably didn't say much anyway. Again, he's just walking. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. Umpires, again, are just so thin-skinned. Just let the players vent. Some managers have talked about this. I know Ricky Renteria, former White Sox and Cubs managers, talked about let the players vent a little bit. I know Don Mattingly also talked about it when he was the Miami Marlins manager. I believe he might have talked about it too when he was the Dodgers manager. It's stupid. It's just absolutely ridiculous because it draws unwanted attention. It's an unnecessary ejection when a player just wants to say, "I don't agree with that call." Now, you shouldn't argue balls and strikes. I know that's kind of a unwritten rule of baseball, but just come on, let a player vent a little bit. Let him just get his frustration out just a little bit, even when it's a mild. Just I don't agree with that, or that was a BS call. It's ridiculous. I don't. Whatever. I mean, hopefully it's not only a matter of time before the automated strike zone becomes a thing. I don't know how that's. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's still being tested in the minor leagues or something like that, but I don't know. Umpires are not exactly making the reputation any better by doing stuff like this. But anyway, okay. So, like I said, now the Rockies are even with the Pittsburgh Pirates, 1-1 in the series right now. The series finale will be tomorrow. For the Rockies, it'll be Ryan Feltner going to the mound, and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hold on, let me make sure they get this name right. It's Bailey Faulkner. He is a 6'4". He's a 6'4". He's 6'4" southpaw. So expect the Rockies lineup to have a decent number of right-handers in the batting order, except for Ryan McMahon. Most likely he will play as well. He could be the only lefty to be in the lineup for sure. That game will be. It's an early game. It's a getaway day. So the game will be 11:35 a.m. Mountain Time and 12:35 p.m. Standard Time. So hopefully, just hopefully, please. Let's just hope, please. Come on, guys. Just get us the first series victory. Get us the first series victory of the season. But again, with how this team is, I'm not holding my breath. Just come on. Let's go. Let's get that first series victory. Get it out of the way here in the month of May. This is, even though, of course, being Star Wars Day, the Force was not with the Rockies, but maybe tomorrow will be good on Cinco de Mayo. So anyway, that'll do it for this Rockies recap edition of the game 2 of the series of the game. Yeah, back up. Sorry. That'll do it for this Rockies recap episode. Again, I will be back tomorrow to recap the series finale against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Please be sure to subscribe to all of our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and our Threads page as well. And be sure you click subscribe on our YouTube channel for updates on when Rockies recap episodes are released, as well as full episodes of the podcast. And be sure to subscribe to my Twitter X handle. It is right over here in the corner. Stevens also is listed on the Rockies Now webpage as well. So if you want to reach out, ask us, because we're thinking of doing a new episode sometime soon. I know I keep saying that. We'll schedule it sometime soon. We're planning on possibly having a fan Q&A. So send us your questions. They could be featured in a future podcast episode. And that's it. So have a great rest of your night, everybody. And as always, go Rockies.